Vaccines in stock. Call them. Make your appointment now. Get their number and more info by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome into WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Before we get going with another great interview here, let's thank our sponsors that make it possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Right now, we have Chief Deputy of the Christian County Sheriff's Office, Jim Baker, in the studio. How are you today, Chief Deputy?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being in with us. We got some things to cover today, and an exciting one here for the students across Christian County. This is a good one. You got a scholarship opportunity for them. Let us know about this one.
Yeah, so this is in conjunction with the Illinois Sheriff's Association. This year they allocated $58,000 for the 2024 budget, which would be awarding over 100 plus $500 scholarships to all the residents, or to the applicants within the state of Illinois, within the 102 counties.
Okay.
So it's basically a scholarship that's going to be awarded through an application process. There's a pretty lengthy essay question that basically gets the student involved in local events throughout the county. That previously there was things like last year they discussed what their thoughts and opinion were for the new police reform bill reform. So this year, that tuition could be awarded through the application process, and it can be used for the tuition, schooling, fees, books, things of that nature. There are some minimum requirements. They obviously have to be a resident of Illinois. It has to be used for a higher education within the state of Illinois, and they have to be enrolled in the 2024 school year as a full-time student. Along with that, the application can be basically printed off online from the Illinois Sheriff's Association website, or locally here at the Christian County Sheriff's Office, you can pick one up in person. Once you get the application, like I mentioned before, there's the general questions of what school and things of that nature, and then, general information that would go with any scholarship. And then to wrap up, there is a pretty lengthy required essay question that engages them with the sheriff's office. Yeah. So they'll fill that out. And then once we receive, and the biggest thing on that would be that there is a deadline by March 15th of this year. So March 15th, the scholarships have to be turned into the local sheriff's office, either postmarked to that location by March 15th or dropped off in person at the sheriff's office in which any scholarship applicant resides. Right. So, and then once the sheriff's office receives those, they'll be forwarded to the Sheriff's Association. Locally, what we do is take our applicants, and then they're reviewed by a panel that the sheriff puts together for review, and they will award typically one scholarship within the county.
Okay, so one's going out in the county. This is a statewide thing for all Illinois state law enforcement. Am I saying that right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So it's the Illinois Sheriff's Association that allocates those funds. It's a scholarship of $500. And keep in mind, anybody listening, it does not have to be for law enforcement. You could be pursuing a career in nursing, radio, sure. Media. Yeah, as long as it's higher education within the state, they can apply.
That's a big fact to know about right there. It doesn't have to be law enforcement, even though the essay question did kind of revolve around that a little bit. But interacting with that question is important for any field you go into right there. Are you able to read off the essay question? Because these are heavy questions.
Sure.
They make you think. Go ahead.
So it'll get the mindset for anybody thinking about applying for it. It says, do you feel like society has become more violent? And then it goes on to say, why do you think people seem to increasingly drive to violence to solve issues to promote their agenda? And then finally, how can the sheriff's office and their offices specifically address these issues? So, you think about that applicant's individual thoughts and experiences, or what their, view is for violence in society. And that's primarily the question. It is the one and only question for a lengthy essay response.
I would agree. Yeah. And you brought up like nursing as a profession right there, which a nurse definitely has opinions on that and thoughts about about these essay questions right there. So those will be reviewed by a panel right there, and you don't have to go into law enforcement. That won't sway any decisions. If you do want to go into broadcast media as a job, you can still have a pretty good answer to that question. And if the sheriff's department likes it, then you get your $500 scholarship.
Yeah. Well, and there again, it's not just the sheriff's office. We have some outside input for people within the community. The sheriff puts together a panel, so it's not subjective to us deciding it. It's a panel of individuals that read through the essays, and through the years, we've had some pretty in-depth and very informative essays wrote that we have the opportunity to read. And I know the sheriff has read them in the past once the winner's assigned, and then he'll read the lengthy essay or hit topics on some of the thoughts on that. And I'll go back to, there again, not law enforcement related, but violence in society in general affects everybody. It doesn't matter if you see it, if you're, the manager at the local Circle K or, media reporting it all the time, nurses in a hospital. Everybody's got an opinion of, violence in the society, the community, and in the workplace.
Totally. It'll be interesting to see how these students looking to pursue higher education handle that question. They're in such an interesting spot of their career, and they're able to make those opinions for themselves and then work their way through that. That's going to be interesting, especially to read those essays. And it's a whole community covering board, comprehensive board that's going to be reviewing these right there. Thank you for laying all that out for us right there. You said the deadline's March 15th to get all those in. Where do you submit those?
So there again, March 15th, you can pick them up at the sheriff's office to fill it out. You can get it online. And then most importantly, by March 15th, it has to be submitted or postmarked by your local sheriff's department, which you reside in.
All right. Easy enough. And the website people can go to for that?
Yeah, just IllinoisSheriffsAssociation.com.
Easy. All right. So that's the new scholarship opportunity offered by the Illinois Sheriff's Association right there. It was Chief Deputy Jim Baker laying it all out for us. That's going to be really good opportunity for a high school student out there. And if that was interesting to you, I think you could really have some fun with that essay question. Not fun, but educational fun with that one. That's interesting. Let's talk a little bit more about the Christian County Sheriff's Department here. You got a couple deputies that are certified, and I don't want to give it away, but they're certified in something real important out there. Go ahead and give us that.
Yep. I like to think of it as, Christian County, you can almost say its population grows every month.
Sure. Yeah.
And it might not be for a family moving in, but we usually have a new exciting, birth brought to a family monthly. And with that, once you have the birth of an infant, or as your children grow up, they change from, and this is all would be focused around child restraints. We go from being in a child restraint carrier to a booster seat and beyond. And the biggest question is, people may think, oh, the kid's got to be in a child restraint. The thing that we've got 2 deputies now certified in, and I know that people have seen it in the community where we have seatbelt restraint instructional days throughout the county. I know sometimes they'll have it at the fire department or an event. What we're offering up is now with these 2 deputies, let's say you bring home a new infant tomorrow. Well, who wants to wait until the next event? What we're offering is you can reach myself or through email. There's numerous ways to connect with the sheriff's office through the new sheriff's app or the website or even just a phone call. Once they do that, we can then put them in contact with the deputy and schedule a time that's convenient for both the parent and the sheriff's office deputy that's certified. We've got two guys that are actually certified, and it goes a little further in depth than just putting a child restraint in a car. There's things that they're taught on how to manipulate. At one time I was certified with it, and it basically gives you the opportunity to show the parent how to install it, how to put their knee in the child restraint, to basically manipulate the seat belt to where it takes all the slack out. I tell people, I don't want to just say, hey, if you can rock the child restraint, it's incorrect. But there is a proper way to do it. And we're offering up that service that they can contact us, and whether that be on a Saturday morning or after work hours, we can set that up to where they'll meet up with a couple of the different deputies to show them how to do that. And then as they progress, You may know how to put, the infant carrier in there, but then when they become older and they need to go to a child restraint, which is a booster seat, and we go with the fact there are some laws in place that they have to be in a child restraint. However, we like to use the analogy that it's best practice. What's the best practice to put that, whether that's rear facing, forward facing, in a booster, using the tether locking system that people may not understand what the little metal clip on the back of their back seat is. And it's good. I keep this in mind. You may not want to, you may not have children, but if you've got a niece, nephew, grandchild, something of that nature where you're picking those kids up and they say, hey, don't forget their booster seat. Well, it would be nice to say, wait a minute, what's the best practice and the safest environment for that child, infant, or, young adolescent to be restrained for their safety.
Sure. Car seat aged children out there. I mean, they're constantly changing. You're going to need new clothes. You're going to need food, but also the transportation aspect is so important right there. The second you bring that infant out of the hospital, that's got to be in place. That's got to be set correctly. You don't want that. Oh gosh, you do not want that, coming out of place in the back seat. That'd be terrible. So 2 deputies now certified with the Christian County Sheriff's Office there, and they can answer all your questions. They can teach you how to put it in your vehicle and how to do it the right way.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And is there a non-emergency number that
they can contact, like I said, they can contact the sheriff's office at the 824-4961. They can ask for Chief Deputy Jim Baker. I'll set that up to where we get that appointment set up. Or there again, on our website, my email's on there. They can, contact us that way as well.
Easy enough. This is another valuable service here offered by the Christian County Sheriff's Office. We're sitting down right now with Jim Baker, the Chief Deputy of the Christian County Sheriff's Department. My name is Tim Zalabak, and you are listening to WTIM, your information station. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the WTIM Morning Show.
Your information station, WTIM.
This is Bill Wise with the latest Appetite for Pork report. Today, I'm talking with Dr. David Newman, Senior Vice President of Market Growth at National Pork Board, about how your pork checkoff dollars are working to bring more U.S. pork to tables around the world. Dr. Newman, the pork checkoff is always working to drive demand for U.S. pork. For consumers here at home, how are you encouraging them to buy more?
Traditionally, the consumer in the U.S. has been from the boomer generation. They've been heavy pork users. They know what they like. But as boomers start to eat less pork and they start to exit the marketplace, we need to be focused on this consumer of the future, millennials and Gen Zs. They have tremendous purchasing power. And as that purchasing power shifts into these new generations, we need to make pork relevant to these buyers.
Thanks again, David, for talking with us today about how the pork checkoff is building a bigger appetite for U.S. pork. You can find out more information at porkcheckoff.org/radio.
If you've been in the hospital and need a little extra help to get back to doing the things you care about, give Taylorville Care Center a call. They offer therapy to help you recover and return home as quickly as possible. They even offer private rooms for rehab to home. Your local doctor or their medical director can follow your care, and your family and friends can visit you while you're recovering. With individualized plans of care, their entire staff offers a care experience like no other. Financial counseling for long-term stays is available too. Taylorville Care Center, caring for the community for nearly 50 years. Call them today.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
Take News Talk WTIM programming with you wherever you go, both live and archived. News Talk WTIM streams 24/7 simply by clicking the Listen Live icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. And to hear archived WTIM programming like the morning or noon farm shows, expanded local newscast, morning show interviews, Swap Shop AM or PM, click the audio on-demand icon in the upper left-hand corner. Whether it's your smartphone, tablet, or desktop, News Talk WTIM stream is with you wherever you go 24 hours a day at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Craig's Realtors continues to be the market leader in 2023. I'm Steve Craig's. It's a seller's market. If you're considering selling, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Find out about all the products and services offered by Dan Rizzo, your American Family Insurance agent in Taylorville, by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host. We're sitting down with Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Let's thank our sponsors before we get going with this great interview, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. We talked a little bit about the Illinois Sheriff's Association Scholarship Program. It's going to be a great opportunity for some senior students out there. That's due by March 15th for that one. And there's 2 deputies certified in seatbelt checks right there for the Christian County Sheriff's Department. You can contact them for help there. Here's another service or program kind of offered here by the Christian County Sheriff's Department. It's the Senior ID program. Kind of coincides with all the great things you've been doing with the Christian County Sheriff's app, just getting everyone on the same page. Talk to me about this one.
Yeah, so this will be something that'll be coming out there again on the Sheriff's app that we've got out, and our social media page with Facebook and stuff. It's in the early stages. I've been working on a way that we can get cards filled out throughout the county that the elderly residents can either fill it out themselves or by the let's say the grandchildren or sons and daughters. And the idea behind this would be focused that I seen a need that if you have an elderly person in a residence and we get a phone call or they call 911, let's say they're having a medical issue and they pass out, they're not able to answer the phone. Oftentimes we're stuck with trying to figure out how do we get in the house. And what I'm trying to drive home is the fact that we can get, it's in the early stages. I hope within the coming months that we have the senior ID and contact cards as a program. But currently, the individuals or the county residents can call in, make contact with the dispatch. They can then tell them, hey, I'd like to update a resident's location or phone number. And so let's say, that I've got somebody in medical need, and it'll be the brother, a grandparent, mom, dad. They can go in there, fill this. Eventually, they'll be able to fill out a card. But right now, we can have you call into the sheriff's office and let them know that this address and with this phone number, you'd like to attach notes to be put on there for dispatch. It's simple as saying, hey, at this address, I'm the contact person if you need to get in the house, or if this person's being transported to the hospital, here's my contact information. That person that you're transporting to by ambulance may not be able to tell them their next of kin or their, emergency contact order or contact. So what we would suggest is you call in, provide the dispatch with that information. We can put an attachment to that address or location. And that's not only real residents, that's anybody in the county. Okay. It can have that information attached. And my goal and focus here would be within the next month or two, we've got cards that could be, filled out, and then that would be kept on file as well. Sure. So
there are so many sons and daughters out there taking care of their mothers and fathers growing into their old age. And this is something that's going to put their mind at ease if they are living on their own, the elderly person, and they go down, the person with the contact info, they're going to get the call, or they can get permission to enter the house and those kind of things right there. It's just going to streamline the process, make things more efficient, and just keep everyone in the know. I love that one. How can you get information over to you guys?
So right now, like I said, the easiest is to download the Sheriff's app because it's got contact information. It will also keep you up to date when the cards are available, things of that nature. But right now, it's just contact and dispatch at the non-emergency number 824-4961. And basically, I want to reiterate the fact that we don't need to wait for these cards to come out. We could go ahead and contact the sheriff's office and have any attachment of pertinent information attached to a residence or a phone number.
Perfect. And we're real close to our end here, but there's going to be some citizens getting some mail soon. Tell us about that. Why are we getting mail?
So the sheriff's office is working on getting a flyer out. We've done all we can to push the public safety sheriff's app out through social media. My goal is to get it out through a mail flyer. It's not spam. It's coming from the sheriff's office. We're working on a mail flyer throughout the county to promote the new Public Safety Sheriff's app, and look forward to getting that out to increase the use of the app. It's a great tool to connect with the sheriff's office.
Perfect. Be looking out for that. Chief Deputy, thank you so much for being here with us.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for listening.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. President Biden trying to figure out how best